It's Madden NFL 22, and we've got a duel in the Lone Star State. It's the reigning AFC champs and the Texans coming up next.
On a wonderful fall afternoon in the state of Texas, the roof is open, and we've got football from NRG Stadium in Houston. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Again, everyone, with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They come off a disappointment last time out. They put an end to their -3-game win streak. Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, the beat goes on, doesn't it? A perfect 10-0 to start the campaign.
And it's a good locker room to be in, too. Guys don't show up on game day hoping to win. They expect to win. And so far, they've yet to have a letdown.
Is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. KJ Hamler returning it. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. As we take a peek at the Oklahoma State product, their quarterback, Mason Rudolph.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how he continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Third down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard. So, Charles, first drive here, little safe completion underneath, maybe get some rhythm, get your feet wet, so to speak.
I agree, and I like it because it's a lot like a basketball game when you're getting started and you pass the ball around so everyone touches it early and gets involved in the game. In this case, it's not just dumping it to a back and he's able to run with the ball, but you get your offensive linemen involved because they get to get out and run and hit people in the open field. Everyone getting their feet wet early. There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
It'll be a 48-yard punt, 5 there on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields. They're coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. A first carry for Leonard Fournette. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. A handoff to Fournette. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves them with 3rd and 5.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Jaguars. A.J. Brown with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Jags have taken the early lead. In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield.
That is absolutely demoralizing for a defense because you've got the offense on the ropes. It's third down. You're trying to get off the field, and then wham, you have a letdown in the secondary, and you give up a big one.
And that throw, pretty impressive, and even 61 yards through the air. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And this is up and good. The score now 7-0 Jaguars. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it culminates in a Jags touchdown. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Hamler now to return it. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion, guys a little bit jumping.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. Just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Back to Mixon on second down. Mixon with a first down and more. Finally taken down at the 32-yard line. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
A gain of 6 there on first. Well, this defense for the Jags, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Dante Fowler able to record his 5th sack of the season. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
Rudolph's throw here into the hands of Moore. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. Rudolph looking to throw. He's going to air one out. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big play that time through the air. 34 yards.
I'm pretty sure any quarterback will tell you it's nice to have a tight end that can stretch the field. And how about him right there, working in the heart of the defense, and they connect on a very nice play downfield. A combination of talent and toughness to go into the briar patch.
Rudolph's throw taken in by Samuel. Touchdown! Curtis Samuel, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. Santos with the extra point. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game. And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much, do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at them in order to try and get the upset win.
Fields on third down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3-and-out and giving the ball back to their offense.
Now a hit and a loose football. And the Jags grab it. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. And maybe getting a little too cute there on the punt return. Sometimes they forget paramount holding on to that football.
I really do believe most of the return guys think to themselves, when I get the ball, I'm going to make the play that's going to change the game. I'm going to break it. And you love that they have that attitude, but your point is so well taken. What do you have to do? First and foremost,
hold on to it.
Take care of the football. That's all he needed to do.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Fields. Escaping the pressure right. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And he'll be stopped short of the first down, right around the 18-yard line. These two teams all tied after 1. The Jags with the football to begin the second quarter. They go with the option on 4th down, left side. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Justin Fields, an 18-yard touchdown run. And the Jaguars have taken the lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Hamler now to return it. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
For most people, the excitement of the kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible...
And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Roquan Smith in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Yeah, nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Here's a give to Mixon. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the first down. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's only had a couple of carries. I mean, when you've got a horse like this, second quarter, got to start to ride that horse a little more, don't you?
You can't just neglect him. He's got...
And the ball is knocked out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Here's Fields. Flush to his right. Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Jerry Jeudy, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions, and they're a PAT from going up 20. And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now 21-7. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Hamler now to return it. And he's going to be out of bounds. Here's the run back. Will leave him shy of the 20-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Let's go. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. 57's the mic. Watch 57.
On 1st and 10, Rudolph. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
He's got his pass-catching tight end. That's Pitts. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
Rudolph throwing on 2nd down. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And just not much to be had there. 1 yard out to the 10.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They'll start on the ground with Breida. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. So, Charles, you talk about this offense, how well they've played. I mean, the defense, too, really. But they're sitting at 10-0 now on the year. 4-0, 5-0, that's nice. But once you start hitting double digits with these wins and no losses, I think the seriousness of the situation, it just has to ramp up.
Yeah, and when you do say 10-0, it can't scare you as a team. Just think about it this way. For most of the year, they've been playing to win their division and get to the playoffs. Now the playoffs are just about a foregone conclusion. So now they have to down-focus their thoughts about getting home field advantage and finishing unbeaten, and they need to make sure they keep it in that order. But things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even third down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. That is caught inside the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. And able to break through that initial contact and winds up getting about 3 there. It's second down. Second and goal from the 1. They'll try to run with Dobbins. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. They're knocking on the door as they come to the line here on third and goal from the 1. They'll try to run with Dobbins. And he'll take this into the end zone. A touchdown, Jacksonville. J.K. Dobbins hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 23. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Hamler now to return it. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Mason Rudolph leading this offense out for their next possession. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say, I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally. Throwing again on second down. Rudolph. Throw left side complete. That's Moore. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Another sack. Rudolph. Now the Texans will use one of their 2. The first half of play. Play action. It's Rudolph. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it. And the Jags are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And with great starting field position up near the 50, they might be one completion away from stealing a late field goal here. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
I know he was trying to get the completion. It's gone. With a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet down. Thought to himself, I'm a quarterback. I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
And he takes it. Going out.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. A final shot before the break. Fields eluding the pressure. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Justin Fields as time expires in the first half. And the Jaguars will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that will take us to the end of the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, bye weeks, they're over. We've once again got a full slate of games to get to as we take you around the NFL here in Week 12. We'll begin up at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. And in the second quarter, it's the Vikings who are out on top. The Florida State product, Cam Akers, with a touchdown run. From there, we'll head to Washington to check out the football team at home at FedEx Field. And they currently trail in that game against the visiting Patriots. Carson Wentz lighting things up. 3 touchdown passes there. Finally, we head to the shores of Lake Erie. See what's going on with the Cleveland Browns. And you can see they trail in that matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. We continue on with the check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Jags. And the ground game has been a big part of why they have this big lead. And you have to figure they'll lean on it a little bit more in the third and fourth quarters. Meanwhile, for the Texans, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half from the 6. Now a hit and a loose football, and the Texans scoop it. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line.
Let's just call that play exactly what it is. Needed. Because they wanted to get back in the game, and they knocked the ball free, and now they have a chance to do exactly that.
They got the chance. Now they have to take advantage. Here's Rudolph. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line. It's a loss of 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. A CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Mixon. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Dumps it off to Mixon. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
They will snap it to Rudolph. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Deontay Johnson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Texans' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Santos able to tack on the extra point. And that will shave a bit off the lead as it's down to a 23-point game. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Takes it at the 7. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And a pretty slick return there. Almost got it to the 45. Officially, they'll call him down at the 44. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Calling an 8-yard gain, much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
And he will have a Jaguars 1st down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a 1st down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Here's Bowden. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Texans scoop it. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Well, number 1. And now, as with every potential turnover, so that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. And out of bounds right around the 20.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a 1st down.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 46 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. They'll run with Dobbins. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. J.K. Dobbins. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Jags take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Hamler now to return it. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
Hey, check. 3 down.
On second down, here's the option. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down.
Come on now, let's go.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down. So he is able to turn that into positive yardage, but I think it's fair to say that those are not the shots you're wanting your quarterback to have to absorb.
And he has to know sometimes when to say when. You have to know when to give yourself up, and let's face it, not easy for these guys to do because they're competitors as well. But sometimes you do learn your lesson the hard way, as he did there.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and they're going to have a third down. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And Mixon not going to get there. Running into a wall here, and they'll stop him short. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Houston. "35 yards that time on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Jaguars to take over on offense. They've got the lead yet again in this ball game with their winning streak right now sitting at 10. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. The last run got 9. That leaves him with second and a yard. Another run here with Dobbins. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there and he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
75 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. They run with Bowden. Breaks a tackle. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Back now in Houston. So both teams trade touchdowns in the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now a first down throw, Fields. He finds his man, complete. It's McKinney. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Yeah, this defense has had its share of problems getting guys to the ground. And here's another example. They never should have allowed this play to gain as many yards as it did, but poor tackling early in the play led to big yardage after the fact.
And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards. Dobbins once more, and he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. J.K. Dobbins with his 3rd touchdown of the ball game, number 12 on the season. And the Jaguars add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Hamler now to return it. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. Rudolph on first down. And that is incomplete. Now, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Rudolph. This goes out wide from Mixon. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A huge play there for Houston. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Again, it's Rudolph. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. Not much there, only a yard. To throw again on 2nd down. Rudolph trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 11. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
89 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that
oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Jalen Thompson picks it. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another.
And this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown, Houston. Deontay Johnson with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Texans get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. Santos with the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
He's going deep for Brown, and that's caught inside the 35. It's a big play for the Jaguars.
Even with the big lead here in the 4th, it still bombs away, and frankly, it's working. Why should they stop? Go ahead and keep firing away and gaining those yards.
They'll run on first down. Dobbins, and they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Here's Bass now for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Here comes a first down throw from Rudolph. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And this is caught on the sideline. Are the feet in? They are. What a catch. A big connection on that one. 34 yards. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Shotgun snap for Rudolph. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. And this one too low.
This has been a rough one to put it mildly for them. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
3rd and long, it's Rudolph. He's going to let it fly. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. And this one has gone pretty well to form. They've come in, had little problem thus far, and now they'll try to polish things off in the 4th. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. 116 yards for him on the ground now, and 3 touchdowns to go along with it.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking. And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by Kelvin Joseph. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
On 1st down, Rudolph. to Mixon on the check down. So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and that'll make it 2nd and 10.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College, not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
I bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You just tried to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And it's all but certain that this win streak is going to extend another week. Just another tremendous performance in this one. Now one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Jacksonville, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11-0 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for Houston, they've fallen out of things now as they sink to 3-8. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals.